Welcome to the Wellbeing Project podcast. I'm Rachel Bulkley, and this is episode 6. Why don't you charge more? This is a real question I've been asked many times and in different ways. So today I'm going to explain the difference between the value and the cost for the courses and conversations. I'm so psyched that you're listening right now. Thank you. Let's dive in. The courses are $25 each, and participating in a small group weekly conversation is $10. I get a lot of pushback from entrepreneurs, course creators, and other professionals who tell me that I should charge more for the courses. They tell me that basic human psychology makes us perceive things as more valuable if we pay more for them. Therefore, if I want to be taken seriously and what I offer perceived as valuable, I need to price it higher, restrict access, and make it feel exclusive. I won't argue that human psychology works this way, but I think it mostly applies when you're trying to create demand in an economic system. That's not my goal. I'm not offended by their suggestions and even urging. I understand the compliment intended when they tell me that what I offer is far more valuable than the cost I've put on it. But to me, this isn't about manipulating perception in order to call people to action. It's about providing understanding and support for those who are already seeking it. I've also been told repeatedly that I need to define my target demographic and have an ideal avatar, the type of individual I want to reach. Again, I can't wholly dismiss the thinking there, but still, I can't fully get on board. My original participants were locked up, many for violent crimes. They were ideal because they were humans who had an interest in what I had to share, and they had the motivation to test it out in their own lives. If you know my backstory, and hopefully you do because you've listened to episode 1 of this podcast, then you know I come from a fervent religious upbringing and spent some of my young adulthood as a missionary in far corners of the world. All these years later, my faith has evolved, but my fervency remains the same. So my role models aren't marketing whizzes or viral content creators. They were teachers and sages who gave their wisdom freely. Many were prophets whose messages were only appreciated once their lives had been taken. Basically, they were humans who gave the most valuable things possible. First their wisdom, then their example, and ultimately their lives, for free. I live in a modern society and have kids to provide for. Economics plays a central role in how I spend my time. Nevertheless, I'm not trying to attract individuals who need to be convinced by perfect branding. I'm dedicated to providing all I can to as many as possible. We aren't changed by programs and upgrades and exclusive offers. We're changed by revelation that comes from within. It's true. We're impacted less by novel concepts and more by the things we already know deep down that we hear reflected back to us. Truth that isn't found within isn't truth. It's just information. What I offer is a way of articulating the things you know deep down. The 7 concepts help you explore and apply your own knowledge more than they teach you something new. Another reason that the cost for everything in the project is so affordable is because my dream isn't to create a personal business, but a peer-led movement that eventually spreads knowledge and support to every human who wants it. The cost structure creates economic incentive for those who want to follow my example and become hosts or mentors. The low cost of the courses and weekly conversations is deliberately balanced to make it attractive for participants as well as those who wish to create an income stream, hosting conversations or mentoring others. The goal is to swiftly build a network of support that stretches anywhere technology reaches. Doesn't that sound like fun? So, there you have it. If you've been listening to the podcast so far and have comments, questions, or feedback, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can find me on Instagram or via the project's website, thewellbeingproject.info. If you haven't registered for courses, I'd love to have you join me on the next live one. Registration is open at the project's website. That's it for this episode. In the next episode, I'm going to explain a little more of what the 7 concepts are. If you're undecided about participating in the project and taking the first course, this is going to give you a great deal of insight into what the course will cover. Thanks for listening. Until next time, tend well. We need you around here.